Hey, Shalom, Most High, Christ bless. Welcome to another edition of 15 Minutes with the Captains. Today you got myself, Captain Emmanuel of IUIC, Arkansas, and today the topic is the secret life of a Babylonian teenager. All right? Some of y'all, depending on what era you grew up in, you might be familiar with this show that aired on ABC Family, if I'm not mistaken. Put that on the screen. The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Go to the next one, and you see the one in the center. She pregnant. So we all have our experiences from high school and things that we witnessed, and also you had shows like this that aired on TV that depicted what teenagers are capable of doing unbeknownst to their parents. But for some reason, us in this truth, because we put fringes on our teenagers' clothes, we become naive to what they're capable of doing secretly. So we're going to deal with that today. All right, go to Sirach 32, verse 22.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 22.
Come on.
And beware of thine own children.
So God told you, beware of your own children. Why? Go to Proverbs 22, verse 15. We all must beware about, black people don't like to be told that. Be mindful of your kid. We always get in defense mode. No, God said, beware of your own children. This is why. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 15.
Come on.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
And that ain't just talking about 5-year-olds that jump up and down in the house all day breaking pictures off the wall. No, foolishness is bound in the heart of teenagers. You understand? How do we know? Go to Genesis 37, verse 2, to show that a teenager, although they've hit puberty, they may have got a driver's license, they may have a job, they may have a diploma. Guess what? They still a damn child. Read what you got.
Genesis chapter 37 and verse 3.
Read.
Now
Verse
Israel,
2.
verse 2. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph being 17 years old.
So Joseph was 17 years old. Guess what? In America, you could be 17 with a driver license, a diploma. You understand? A job, all that. Read verse 29.
Verse 29.
Read.
And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit.
Right. Joseph was not in the pit. Remember, Joseph was 17 years old. Go ahead.
And he rent his clothes.
And
he returned unto his brethren and said.
So now, in reaction to seeing that Joseph was not in the pit, listen to what he's telling his brothers about Joseph, the 17-year-old. Go ahead.
The child is not.
The what?
The child is not.
So he referred to that 17-year-old as a child. Guess what? Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Come on.
This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
And the word perilous means dangerous. Keep that word in your mind. Perilous. Go ahead.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Come on.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents.
Right, disobedient to parents. And I know we read this and we think about in the world the disrespectful badass kids or whatever, but we have to be mindful, like God said, beware of your own children. Just because you teach the laws of God in your household does not mean that your children are not capable of disobeying you secretly. No. God said there's going to be a spirit in these last days. People are going to be disobedient to parents. Go ahead. Unthankful. A lot of these kids are not thankful for the fact that you're teaching them and instructing them in the laws of God to prevent them to go through the trauma and pain and ultimately judgment of God that you suffer because of the wickedness that you did in your teens. They're not thankful for that. Go ahead. Unholy. They have no desire to obey the laws of God. They want to be in the world. Unfortunately, there's going to be the spirits on some of our teens. All right? From there, go to 2 Ezra 9 and 20 to expound on that perilous. All right? This is why the last days will be so perilous. Read that.
Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 20.
Come on.
So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, because of the devices that will come into it.
And I know a lot of parents get real sensitive about this topic because you just know you got all the parental controls figured out. You know, it's locked down. You know what apps they got and don't got or whatever the case. But, you know, I know. It went there too much long ago when I was a teenager. When I was a child, single digits. When we had the computer with the big back and the big old thing beside it that you had to turn on and wait 5 minutes for everything to load. Guess what? I was doing a lot of things secretly on that device. And that was in the family room.
Ooh.
You understand? I didn't have it in the privacy of my room.
Come on.
And I was getting away with a lot. I work at a juvenile facility. They got a whole IT department specifically, solely for the purpose of blocking all access to social media, music videos, etc. Every single day, them kids come in their education building and get on all that.
Damn.
They always figure out ways to hack and crack codes. But we be underestimating the hell out of our children. If all they got is these devices, trust and believe, they going to figure out how to finesse and manipulate these damn devices.
That's right.
For real. Now watch this. Give me the screenshot, the first one. All right, read that.
According to the surveys, between 62 and 73% of teens have seen pornography.
2/3, according to surveys, have seen pornography. Go ahead.
The age of first exposure to pornography is getting younger, and the amount of time teens spend viewing it increases with age.
So how do they view or see pornography? It's on these devices. Now go to the next one. Watch this. The next screenshot.
All right, how teens come across pornography. Online ads. Teens can be exposed to pornography through online ads.
Meaning they're not searching for it. They're not looking for it. They could be watching something that's in compliance with what you allow them to. But a lot of these platforms, these channels, they're monetized. So they allow certain ads that's basically beyond their control to come up on their stream. And those ads can lead to certain links and certain things that lead to pornography. That's how a lot of kids get initiated into that realm. They're not looking for it. They're not searching for it. It's through them clicking on links that pop up through different advertisements. Go to read the next one, social media.
Social media. Teens can be exposed to pornography through social media posts.
Through social media posts. Somebody profile. You click on their profile, they got a picture with somebody. That person just so happened to have a link in their bio that says OnlyFans. Before you know it, you know, rabbit hole. All right, go ahead.
Search engine results. Teens can be exposed to pornography through search engine results.
Right, they can accidentally misspell a word and damn big booties can pop up.
Right.
The hell is this? Read the last one.
Friends' phones.
For you brothers and sisters that's sending your children to these public schools with these worldly classmates, trust and believe they have friends among them. And they don't even got to be looking for it or desiring it. They rarely friend can trick them into looking at something they ain't got no business. Just to be petty. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they got Israelite parents. Hey, look at this fight. Whole time it's some damn porn. You understand?
Damn.
For real. That's how a lot of kids get introduced on these devices. Go to the article real quick. And it ain't just porn. Remember, kids socialize. All right? Read that.
How sexting affects you.
Come on.
More than 90% of teens in the U.S. have their own cell phones. Technology enables kids to connect with one another in different ways, providing both new connections and distractions.
And what?
And distractions.
Come on.
One major consequence of this shift in communication is a surge in sexting.
What's that? Read on.
Sexting is defined as sending, receiving, or forwarding sexual suggestive photos or messages. Thanks to modern technology, young people can engage in and conceal sexting much more easily than ever before.
So I don't know why the hell we continue to be naive. If we did it and we got away with it.
Yep.
Is much more easily than ever before.
Y'all better take heed
But
to
you just let your child just do their thing with their device. All right. Come on.
According to recent research, nearly 15% of youth have sent sexually explicit material, and more than 25% have received it.
Right. So there's nudes, videos of each other, even FaceTime live. You understand? Doing it, you know what I'm saying? Virtually. I'm telling you, beware of thine own children. Go to Sirach 7 and verse 23. Do not be naive, man. I'm telling you. And don't underestimate your kids. Read what you got.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 23.
Come on.
Hast thou
You
children?
got kids, teenagers included. Go ahead.
Instruct them.
Do what?
Instruct them.
Teach them the laws of God. Go ahead.
And bow down their neck from their youth.
And also hold them to labor. Give them responsibilities that keep them busy. Let's deal with the sons in particular first. Sirach chapter 30 and verse 3.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 3.
Come on.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
So us as fathers, right, parents in general, we want to make sure we teach our sons. That pisses the enemy off. But on the contrary,
That's right.
if you're too lazy to teach your son, right, and you just leave them on video games and devices, then it has the opposite effect on the enemy. That delights the enemy because now the enemy can teach them evil. Jump down to verse 8. Watch this.
Verse 8.
Come on.
And horse not broken becometh headstrong.
Read.
And a child left to himself.
A what?
Child left to
A
himself
child left to himself with these devices. Go ahead.
will be willful.
They're going to wander and browse in all manners of concupiscence. Trust and believe that. Read verse 11.
11.
Read.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
I ain't said God said it. Give him no liberty in his youth. Read.
And wink not at his follies.
Right. When you see he got a certain spirit on him, you understand that ain't right. Don't sit there and I remember when I was 12 and I had no. Stop. Cut that out. Rebuke that. You teach your son Matthew 5. Don't be looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't weak at their follies. Read.
Bow down his neck while he is young.
Read.
And beat him on the sides while he is a child.
Discipline. Come on.
Lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee. And so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Because guess what? If you don't properly discipline your son, he can turn into a gang member. He can turn into a whoremonger early. He can turn into a stick-up kid. He can turn into a sodomite. And that's going to bring sorrow to your heart. You walk in your son's room one day, he bent over.
Nigga,
you gay.
You ain't gonna know what to do yourself. You understand? Watch this. Read on.
Chastise thy son and hold him to labor.
Do what?
Hold him to labor.
Give him something to do. Your child should be knowledgeable in some type of skill or trade or something. Go ahead.
Lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
So the Bible, this was written thousands of years ago. So if it was true then, how much more in Babylon the Great, the habitation of devils? Your son, if he's not occupied in labor and your instruction, his lewd behavior will become an offense unto thee. All right? So now let's get some righteous examples. Daniel chapter 1. So this is what we want to aspire our teenage sons to be like. All right? Daniel chapter 1 verse 3.
The book of Daniel chapter 1 and verse 3.
Because during this time, Daniel was a teenager. Watch this.
And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed and of the princes.
Come on.
Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understanding science.
And understanding science. What the world would call a geek or a nerd because they know a lot, because they study. These were noble children. Go ahead.
And such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
Meaning they had great etiquette. Come on.
In whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans.
And they were bilingual. Read verse 6.
6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Right, Daniel and the 3 holy children. Jump down to verse 19.
19.
Go ahead.
And the king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king.
Read.
And in all matters of wisdom and understanding,
Intelligence. Read.
that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm.
Now, of course, that's the gift and favor from the Most High God, but that came through them also being studied, them being noble children. They was raised to be noble in mind. You understand? They were children that studied, that desired and pursued intellect, and not folly, not sports and video games. From there, go to Sirach 7:24. For real, we was raising scholars. Daniel and them was scholarly. Sirach 7:24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 24.
Read.
Hast thou daughters?
So now we're going to transition to the teenage daughter. Damn. Come on.
Have care of their body.
Do what?
Have care of their body.
Have a care of their body, because if you don't, best believe these young horny little Negroes out here won't either. God said have a care for their body. Go ahead.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Right. Don't give them too much liberty. Don't let them think that it's sweet. You understand? Everything she do, you just, oh yeah, that's my baby. I watched a movie today. It pissed me off. Netflix movie called Back in Action with Jamie Foxx. He said he wanted to raise his kids different. So she had all type of freedom. She 14. The mama decided to go on a laptop. She was able to see that she was finna be taking drugs in a club, a grown club. They go up to the club. She 14 years old in a damn VIP section partying with grown people. She was finna get drugged and slutted out. You understand? Let's get that. Sirach 26 verse 10. Sirach 26 verse 10. That might be you. You told yourself that when you was in the world. See, I'm going to raise my kids. I ain't going to have all them barriers and be strict and all of that. Well, you must don't believe. Read that.
Sirach 26 and verse 10.
Come on.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
And some of you parents, you read that and you say, that don't apply to my daughter. My daughter not shameless. All right. Keep playing. God said, keep a shameless daughter in straightly, meaning be strict. Because if you don't, she's going to abuse herself through overmuch liberty. She's going to be in places and do things that make her vulnerable to abuse. Go ahead.
Watch over an impudent eye.
Right, an impudent eye, that's a disrespectful eye or an immodest eye. If you see your daughter has an immodest spirit or a smart mouth, God says, watch over that. Go ahead.
And marvel not if she trespass against
and
thee.
don't be surprised if she trespass against you.
Hell no.
Come on.
She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. But every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow.
Now, come on now. And we ain't got to be a rocket scientist to know what God is getting at. Open her mouth, every fountain. You understand? Sit down on every arrow. That's a lot of different positions. You understand? A lot of different people. So from there, go to Sirach 42 verse 9. We almost done.
Sirach chapter 42 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
The father waketh for the daughter.
So this is how the Israelite man must be, right? You on a constant, your spirit, you constantly want to monitor your daughter's activities. Go ahead.
When no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Because you understand the danger of having an Israelite daughter, a beautiful daughter. It is what it is. She's desired. So you are her security 24/7. Go ahead.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age.
Come on.
And being married, lest she should be hated.
Even when you give her over in marriage, you still watch because you don't want her to be hated by her husband. Go ahead.
In her virginity, lest she be defiled, and gotten with child in her father's house.
And that's the sad reality of a lot of black and Hispanic teens in America. They get pregnant while they still living in their father's house. MTV had a whole show called 16 and Pregnant.
Damn.
All right, play that clip real quick. Yep. So it says, go ahead, play it. Me walking around school pregnant, knowing everybody talking about me. So she trying to take pride in it like it's, whatever. But that's the reality of it. Everybody is gonna talk about your daughter. Damn, let that kids get up there and get pregnant while they in school.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I was a product of that. And all praise to the Most High. My mother later in life got her GED, got a decent job or whatever, but she didn't finish school. She got pregnant with me. My dad ain't finished school either. They were both in high school. You understand? That thing right there is a very evil stereotype amongst our people. All right, go back to the scripture.
Sirach chapter 42 verse 10.
But that's what'll happen if you underestimate your kid and you don't take the proper measures to inspect and monitor their activity.
Y'all better take heed to
Diligently.
that.
Go ahead.
In her virginity, lest she be defiled, and gotten with child in her father's house,
Read.
and having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself.
Read.
And when she is married, lest she should be barren.
Come on.
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter,
Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter. Go ahead.
lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
And also be mindful, if your kids had years in this world prior to the truth, you might as well chalk it up to being shameless. It is what it is. You understand? Unless your child was born in the truth, I'm telling you, that Babylonian spirit is there. You understand? So keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she what?
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
Come on.
And a byword in the city.
Read.
And a reproach among the people. And make thee ashamed before the multitude.
Right, because she's pregnant. She's 16 and pregnant. You understand? She's 15 in the clinic with a disease. You understand? She has a viral video doing something nasty. You don't want that to be you, my brother. Last scripture, 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 12. So we got to make sure we being mindful as parents. Don't allow your children to have secret lives. You got to do your due diligence, man. I'm telling you, because these kids, they be having them. They be having secret lives. 1 Samuel 3, verse 12.
1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end.
Watch this.
For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth.
Read.
Because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not.
Eli was too lenient. You understand? He wanted to be naive to what his sons had going on. He was lenient. He didn't rebuke them. He wasn't hard on them like he was supposed to be, like the scriptures teach us about giving no liberty, so on and so forth. He was that lax parent, like a lot of Babylonian parents of this age tend to be. All right, keep playing. God will judge us as parents for that. So don't underestimate these kids, man. These teenagers out here with these TikToks and Instagrams and Facebooks and these devices in general, a lot of them have secret lives, all right? So do your due diligence to prevent it, and it might be going on under your nose right now. So go check that out, all right? But, hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.